It does not matter what you accomplish or how active of a day you have. And there's nothing wrong with having a really productive day. That can be awesome. However, that guilt feeling in the back, that procrastination feeling, that feeling of I'm not doing quite enough, there is more, this seeking will never leave you alone unless you know that a lot of what you're doing is a waste of precious time. It's why you feel guilty. It's why you feel unworthy. It's why you feel bad about yourself in the background. It's why you procrastinate. It's why you feel like you're not fulfilling your potential. You know this background subtle guilt feeling that only temporarily goes away when you're having a really productive on-point day. You know those like 1 in 100 days where just everything flows and you really get a lot of shit done and you're like, yeah, and you feel accomplished by the end of the day. But then how do you feel the next day? Do you still feel accomplished? Do you still feel fully happy? And in every other day, even if you do get a lot of stuff done, if it's not a really perfect flowy day, can you recognize this background sensation of guilt? Of I'm not doing enough. This sensation is never going to leave you alone unless you turn your attention to I am more and more frequently. Doesn't matter what you accomplish, doesn't matter how important you think that it is in the eyes of society, your family, or your judgmental parents, which now have become your own judgmental mind. It does not matter what you accomplish or how active of a day you have. And there's nothing wrong with having a really productive day. That can be awesome. However, that guilt feeling in the back, that procrastination feeling, that feeling of I'm not doing quite enough, there is more, this seeking will never leave you alone until you find. And what is it seeking? What is this intelligence that has blossomed into form, in the form of your body, your mind, your spirit, your life? This intelligence that hears my voice, this formless beingness, which is with us now. What does it seek? Any thoughts? Itself. Thank you. It seeks itself. To whatever degree you open that door, to whatever degree you are able to rest in that I amness and open that back door to God, so to speak, then the expansion that begins to arise starts subtle, but already very, very, very beneficial. So even a short moment of awareness, where you are aware of being aware. You get that? You are aware, a moment where you're conscious of, I am aware. And if you learn to feel that quality is different from any other quality you know, that you can project with your thoughts. There's all these qualities out there, but the quality of recognizing I am aware already. I'm aware. I am, and I'm aware. Has a different quality to it. It's the quality of coming back home. It's the quality of ease, of relaxation, of contentment, of peace. But it has much more depth to it than just that. It has an expansion to it. Okay, this is why this is about knowing God directly. That's just the flavor of God. That's just the expression of God. That's the fingertip of God. You know that picture? It's like, okay, when you're touching upon your I am initially, it's just that initial contact. So here's the mind, the little self, and then here's God extending all the way down into your consciousness as the sensation I am. That's where you make contact with reality. Reality isn't out there. You cannot find it through a telescope. It's all imagination, I promise you this, but you can discover this for yourself. No telescope, no microscope will ever find God, because God is the one that's looking. Okay? So if you start to look for what's looking, now that feeling of procrastination and guilt and not being good enough and not having done enough is going to be liberated from you. So the first thing you notice when you start practicing this, when you just take 2 to 5 seconds of stopping this outgoing energy with your mind imagining this and that, and you just take a brief pause to be aware of being aware. This experiential, direct, intimate state right here. I am aware. First thing you notice is this. It's that sigh of relief. It's that subtle end of the day of hard work. Okay, I've done my duty. Now I can beat myself up no more for about an hour before bed. I've done enough to prove to myself. This is the analogy. This is not what happens when you do this. But this is how you know it from normal life, okay? From the deluded life, from the illusory life. You know it when you've had a hard day's work. It's been satisfying. You've done a lot. And so now your mind will judge itself as competent, like successful, satisfied. Is the example I used in the beginning. And then you lay back on your couch, whatever, you go watch a movie, have a beer, do whatever you do. Aren't those some of the happiest moments in your life? Those insignificant little, like half an hour, end of the day kind of relaxations where you feel like the world kind of disappears and you're just chilling with yourself. Don't these just feel so good other than sleep? You basically do the same thing in sleep, but you're not conscious of it typically. So, but picture that, but then 100 times more pure, where there is this sigh of relief because you're actually consciously waking up to your nature, to the intelligence that's doing the looking. You are stepping into God consciousness. Instead of looking at the atoms and at the stars through the telescope, you're looking at what's looking. That is the intelligence which perceives everything. Everything. And as you open that door more, what happens is your entire world experience turns inside out, without any belief system required, without any thoughts, okay? No ideas. If you stay with the I amness, that formless awareness of awareness, what happens naturally with practice, you got to practice God consciousness. If you want God consciousness, you got to practice it. When you practice it, what begins to happen as that back door opens wider and wider and more of that intelligence flows through, it will turn your world inside out. From there's a real world out here and I'm walking around inside of it and I'm conscious inside of it, to I am eternal consciousness or intelligence, inside of which there are a trillion, actually infinite, possibilities that are waving themselves into appearance. And so your entire relationship to yourself, your body, your mind, your partner, your life, your career, all of it will change at a pace you're comfortable with, usually because you're in control. But sometimes your higher self says, you know what, you're going a little too slow. I'm going to give you a bigger glimpse. And it's going to change the way you view your relationship, or it's going to change how ambitious you are for this career that's not in alignment for you anyway. Yes, you're going to resist that a little bit and okay, we've done that a million times before with your other incarnations and so forth. So here you go, have a little glimpse. But for the most part, it is up to you how much of that valve you open. But when you open it, there is God, and then there is God. And then there is the bliss that you've never experienced before, except in little measurements, little pinch of salt, little pinch of God consciousness every once in a while comes through. Those are your best fucking moments in life.